What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another 2021 new products video. Today we're talking about case knives, and I've got Mari from Case with me in the studio today, or virtually that is. Mari, how's it going?
Fantastic, Jamie. We're excited to be here, excited to kick off 2021. Wish we were there in person, but I think we've got some great offerings, and usually we'd see you at SHOT Show, so hopefully we can give you that sneak peek that you would normally have had then.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that I don't get to see you face to face this year, but I guess the screen will have to do.
Yeah, that's right. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. We sent products, so you've got a firsthand look, just like I was handing them across the table, so I think that's going to work.
Exactly. We will make it work. Dude, I'm really excited for all the new stuff you guys got on the table today. Let's start off with your new vault pattern. What's going on there?
So, Jamie, this is the 5th year of our vault program. And what we did is, we kind of took a chapter out of some very iconic companies that introduced things for a year. So, Case has a real extensive pattern listing. We've been around for 132 years. So we have made knives, all sorts of knives. So in the last 10 or 15 years, a lot of our old traditional patterns have not been in production. So each year we pull one out. And last year, we did the Pocket Hunter. Before that, it was the Barlow. This year, everybody is super excited about it, but we reintroduced the Copperhead. And that Copperhead is a 3 7/8 inches knife. It's a little bit smaller than our traditional Trapper, which is our #1 seller by far. And this will be made just 1 year. So we start production. We'll introduce it. We're starting to ship it now. So we'll start shipping late January, early February. And we will run this all through the year. So you'll be able to get this. Every Copperhead made will have a 2021 tank stamp, and then it'll go back in the vault. So for those folks that want to get something really different, unique, the vault pattern has been a great way to do that. We'll do this in a lot of patterns. I think in our core catalog, we've got about 13 variations of that. Before the year's out, we'll probably have about 25 variations of that. But you will see something that appeals to everyone. And then just the excitement of that 1-year production, something that we started this pattern back before the 1920s. This was a pattern that we did before our tested XX era. So you're going to see this pattern not only historic, nostalgic, popular for everybody, but this 1-year comeback of the vault pattern, it's really cool, and I think it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see your guys' vault pattern every year. This is really cool. I mean, obviously this year's no exception. The other years have been amazing as well. I think this is this abalone on the here?
The one you've got there is the abalone. So we'll do that in some of those precious materials. Pearl and abalone is really hard to work with, but it kind of, if you look at that, man, it really showcases that craftsmanship and that artisanship in that. One of the unique things too, Jamie, in that there are going to be 2 blade styles. So you'll see the abalone that you have has that Wharncliffe blade. That primary blade is a Wharncliffe, and then the traditional one is going to have that clip blade. So you've got that either the Wharncliffe and pin or that clip and pin, and you're going to see a lot of variation. Some will be single blade, but for the most part, that's going to be the primary way that you'll see that knife this year.
Right. So that's cool. So if you want this vault pattern, you're going to have a lot of different options to tailor it to whatever you want.
And just like a lot of our some will be short production runs. So even though it's for a year, some of the things will just be in our spring family or summer or fall or holiday. So just because you see it now doesn't mean it's going to be made all year. But there are some core items that we do expect to continue to produce and support all year long.
Cool. Very cool. So definitely an interesting pattern for this year's vault pattern knife. So moving on, you guys are doing a lot of new materials this year, and I think I got 4 of them here. That's probably not all of them. So walk me through some of the new handle materials you got.
Some of the things that we're doing, and you're going to see this in our line. Case is a very traditional company. We've been around for 132 years. I think I mentioned that. USA manufacturer, but kind of our wheelhouse is that core natural material. But we are stepping out of that. So you'll look at some of the things that we have this year. One of the things that you're going to see is a black sycamore. And, we do a lot of natural woods, but man, this black sycamore that you're going to see there, that really showcases the wood grain in that. You're going to see that in some traditional patterns. You'll also see that in the Copperhead, of course. You're going to see that kind of carried over into a lot of our families. But black sycamore is one we're real excited about. We're doing some micarta, and we've done some canvas laminate over the last couple of years. You're going to see micarta come back into the line as micarta. So there's some unique things that you can you can market and advertise with that, but we're using the supplier source that actually produces micarta, has it trademarked. You're going to see that. Some of the unique features on this to go with that kind of that modern look, you're going to see the satin brush bolsters on these products too. So not only is it kind of a high-tech or a custom type material, but it's going to have that satin look that's kind of, you'll see that in a lot of the custom knives and certainly a lot of the more modern knives, as opposed to a traditional case knife that might have that high polish. So the micarta is something we're real excited about. One of the things that this is a brand new product for us, and this is the Richlite. And we've got the rustic red Richlite in those. This is a paper composite material, Jamie. So a lot of that, it was originally used even in the aerospace industry. It's very durable. It's water resistant, which helps a lot if you're going to put it on a knife. So you've got some great material, a high-tech material. But I don't know about you, but when I look at it, it has a traditional flair. So it almost looks like a wood grain, but it is the Richlite. And I do think that rustic red color, that variance in the handle material, really gives that. I mean, it's very case-like to me, even though it's really high-tech and it's really modern for us. So I think that's going to be a great family for us, and that's in our spring promo family. One of the other things that you're going to see is our fiber weave. We've introduced this a couple of years. We did the black and white. This year, you're going to see the green and black in that fiber weave. That's a G10 and a carbon fiber weave. Again, you're going to see these handles, and these are probably really, really comfortable with your consumer, because a lot of those, you'll see this material in those modern knives, in a lot of those EDC, not so much in a traditional knife. So we really feel like, introducing and kind of bridging that gap with some of your consumers and a lot of our more consumers, maybe more youthful, but folks that really like to look at some of that. They're drawn to some of these unique handle materials, and we are stepping out. Our innovations team has been really busy trying to look out there. What's the next great material? What's in the market? What's something that we can apply our unique hand craftsmanship to do something on a traditional scale that maybe others can't do it. So we're really proud of this fiber weave, and I think it's going to continue to do well on that as well.
Yeah, I love seeing the new materials that you guys come out with every year, because you kind of do this great job of blending kind of the old and the new. So you have these great traditional patterns that have been around for forever, but you put things like fiber weave and G10 carbon fiber. I know last year, I think it was last year or the year before, you guys introduced like purple Curanite, which was super beautiful and kind of a more modern material. But you also are doing things like, black Sycamore, you do a lot of stuff in bone and that type of thing as well. So you have a very good breadth of materials on all of your patterns that you're doing.
Well, and I think, those that have followed Case for a long time, that's one of our strengths. We use a lot of different, heavy in the natural materials. We love bone and stag and pearl and abalone, things like that. But as we are progressing, maybe even in our production and our capabilities, we're working in these materials, and man, at the end result is a fantastic knife. But that is kind of in our wheelhouse. Like I said, we are handcrafted, so we can take material that otherwise would be difficult to work with. We've got someone sitting there at a wheel, so we can work with that and try things new, and it's working for us. And I think hopefully your folks that are watching this will agree.
Yeah, definitely some really cool handle material variations coming in from you guys. So, like you said, Case is over 100 years old.
Yes.
Traditionally have made, I would imagine hundreds of thousands of knives out of carbon steel. As you've progressed through the century, I guess, you've kind of transitioned a little bit more to stainless steel, but it looks like you guys are bringing back a lot of carbon steel in some patterns as well.
We are. So as you mentioned, I think probably all cutlery companies, at least U.S. cutlery companies, the turn of the 20th century, they were all using high carbon steel. So that is exactly what we used for decades. And as we transitioned and as stainless steel became more readily available, a lot of people transitioned to that because it was low maintenance. Especially if you're buying a knife that you're going to put away or you're going to gift to someone, you want that stain resistance. What we have found though with the Case consumer, our number one knife for the last 40 years has been just that yellow handle chrome vanadium Stockman, that CV or carbon steel. But we're finding kind of a lot of influence and a lot of folks that prefer a carbon steel knife. It's a great work knife. If we're talking to someone, hey, what are you going to do with the knife? I work on a farm, or I work outside, or I use my knife all the time in my profession. Carbon steel is the way to go because you can sharpen it. It's great. You have to explain a little more. So we always, give that extra tip or extra caution that this knife will rust. You've got to be careful with it, but that's kind of part of its appeal. And we are seeing a resurgence in that. So you will see in that, you've got one of the gray pocket worn. This has got that traditional case finish where it feels right away. But you're going to see that in a red bone. You're going to see that in a gray pocket worn. Again, we've got our yellow. We've got some chestnut CV. And a lot of folks, if they're looking at it, or maybe they're shopping your website, it may say chrome vanadium. And chrome vanadium, carbon steel, really interchangeable. But that is the steel that. This is a terrible sales pitch, but I will tell you, Jamie, we tell folks we guarantee it to rust, and that's kind of like, well, then I got to have it. But what we'll find a lot of people do, a consumer, they might take that high gloss polish on there, put it into a potato or an apple or something overnight, and it'll just take that finish off. It'll kind of patina that blade. It'll actually start to season that blade, and man, that's the sweet spot. And I can't tell you how many people do that right out of the box, or if you just carry it naturally, it will patina over the years. But man, that is the knife that you carry with you every day, and you don't let it go. But we are seeing a trend to that, and we're continuing to do stainless. We're not getting away from stainless by any means, but carbon requires a little extra manufacturing. I guess you got to do things a little differently in carbon steel, but we are going to continue to do that because that's who we are.
Right. Patina, I think that's the word of the last couple of years. Everybody wants, these brass and copper and those types of things. But you can also get patina on your high carbon steel blade as well. And it does give your knife some character, especially if you've been using it for 5, 6, 7, 8. You got it from your grandpa. It's going to be a nice patinaed blade, and it adds character.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that really, in our tradition and history, that character, that, the heirloom quality, or just, and we tell people all the time, man, use your case knife. Like, oh, I put it up. I wouldn't use my case knife. I'm like, come on, man, you're hurting our feelings. That knife was made to be used. If you get a carbon steel or a chrome vanadium knife, then 100% it's made to be used. So, hopefully they'll like that. But we're going to expand that. You'll see that in our 2021 offering, and you'll see that continuing to work its way through our product line. So there will be a strong offering. So hopefully they'll find something they like.
Love it. Use your case knives, people. Use your case knives.
Use them. That's right. Use them. If you
Awesome.
wear it out, we'll get another one. It's got a lifetime guarantee, but if something happens, we'll get you another one.
Perfect. So we kind of talked a little bit about case roots here. Tell me what's going on with the Panama.
So one of the things I think, Jamie, what's super cool about Case and with working with Case, it's so exciting to see the new stuff that we're doing, and we're trying new things with handle materials. But what you will find with Case, we are a traditional knife company. Man, we know where our roots lie, and we want to make sure that we are continuing to stay close to it, kind of in our wheelhouse on those products. Now, we're going to expand that. We're going to get outside of that a little bit on some of our innovation. But you're going to find things like this Panama. And this has got a Rogers jig. This has got an antique bone handle. We've got a whole series of this antique. So you're going to find a lot of things, whether it's this type knife, you're going to find things in our bone stag, our genuine bone. So if someone's looking through our line this year, they're not going to think, well, Case is really kind of leaning this direction. They're going to find things that they would expect to see from Case. This Panama, man, it's a hoss of a knife. This is a larger style. We've got this in smaller ones too, but I think this really kind of demonstrates and showcases that beautiful, rich color of the bone, that jigging that you're going to find on that. And again, there's a whole series of this, and we've got this through all of our product lines. We've added unique items to different handles. So if someone has a favorite handle, maybe they like the smooth antique, or maybe they like the chestnut bone, they're going to find additions into those families that we're going to continue to do. Again, that is kind of who we are. That's what our customers expect to see from us. But then they're going to find stuff that maybe they don't expect to see from us, and that's what we want to do. Nothing that we feel like is not within kind of the parameters of our brand, but things that they would look at and say, wow, that's pretty cool. Case is we're a 132-year-old company. We don't want to act like a 132-year-old company. We want the consumers that are looking at our brand to feel like that we're innovating, we're taking it forward, but we'll always look back to what made us so special. And I think that Panama really demonstrates that. That's why I sent that one for you to look at, because man, that's case right there.
I think this was the one that stood out to me the most on the table, just because, like you said, it was a Haas. It just opens and closes with authority, and it's just cool looking. So really enjoyed the Panama playing around with it before we were shooting this one. So
Right. And one of the other things too, Jamie, Panama is one of our, we collaborate on a lot of our patterns, and some of these are traditional patterns. If you look back 100 years, you would see these type styles in some of the knife companies that were U.S. knife companies that were around then. We collaborated with just Hall of Fame knife maker Tony Bose, and this was one of those that he designed. So it's near and dear to all of us. But you've got several in our line that were Tony Bose influenced or designed, and the Panama was certainly one of those.
definitely a cool one. So kind of along the same line of Tony Bose, what is this next one here on the table?
So at SHOT Show, and I know a lot of your folks are familiar with that, probably because you guys have brought the SHOT Show to the consumer, which is fantastic. At SHOT Show every year, we would do an item that we would pre-book at the show. So it's a special item. You can only order it there, and we'll build it to order. We always do a Tony Bose knife. So in addition to maybe a brand new Copperhead out of the vault, we'll pick a knife that's a Tony Bose pattern. That's a teardrop, and Tony Bose designed the teardrop. You'll see that center bolster, we call it a cigar band at times with the double X's in there. You're going to see the fluting, kind of the I won't say decoration, but kind of that extra touch on the bolsters. You're going to see the Tony Bose signature. So that is a knife that's honoring Tony, that's honoring the relationship that we have with Tony. And we have done that type of knife each SHOT Show for the last 10 years probably. 2021 is bittersweet in a lot of ways. Tony was a dear friend of Case. Tony was world renowned. We lost Tony at the end of 2020, but his memory is going to live on, and we're going to continue to honor that with our patterns. But this knife, it not only does it look great, it's got the bone stag handles, but it's a special knife, just like all the ones that he designed. But this one's going to do really well.
Yeah. This is definitely a neat one. Definitely is sad to hear about Tony, but I guess memories live on in the knives, right?
Well, and his impact, I think, through Case, through our manufacturing, through all the things that he brought to the table. When you're a mass producer, and I use that term loosely because it's hard to mass produce handcrafted knives, but when you're a mass producer and you have a custom knife maker that is influencing that, there was kind of a give and take in learning some of the tricks of the trade that Tony did that really separated and differentiated, and how we could work that into our manufacturing. And over the last 20 years, I tell you, we have trained engineers. We've got people that grew up in the knife business. Tony Bose taught us a lot, and just learning. He was nicknamed the old dog, and he always said it's because you learn a lot from the old dog, and that's exactly what he did for us. And we've got collaborations. You'll be able to find the 2021 Bose Case custom collaboration, and those are the high-end knives that we make only 1,000 of. That will come out probably in summer, but we do have that. It was already in the works. We work on those things years in advance. So we'll come back on and we'll introduce that, and we'll talk about how cool that's going to be. But just our relationship in general with Tony, man, it was special, and his impact will be felt for the rest of Case history, no doubt.
For sure. Cool. All right, moving on to kind of the last stuff we got on the table. This looks like Case is making some jumps on the sustainability front. What's going on with these Woodchuck knives?
Case is owned by Zippo. You guys probably knew that. Zippo introduced some product early last year with Woodchuck USA, and part of that is, a sustainability program. When you look at the natural materials that Case has used throughout the years, all of that, the environment has factored into that in a huge way, whether it be natural hardwood, pearl, abalone, things like that you really have to be good stewards of. And you really have to, as a brand, and I think as just a consumer, you really have to try to work to make sure that you're being environmentally responsible. These Woodchuck knives, these are executive lockbacks. Again, we partner with Woodchuck USA. It's got a veneer piece with some artwork on it. One's a flag. We've got camo. We've actually have a giraffe pattern. There's 5 total coming out in this line. But every time you purchase one of these, you're going to get in the package, there's going to be a code that you can actually go to a website that we're setting up. And on that website, you're going to be able to plug in that code, and you're going to be able to actually track the tree that was planted. It's a buy one, plant one. There's going to be a tree planted for every one of these that we sell. You're going to be able to track the longitude and latitude. So we're not just telling you we're going to plant a tree. If you wanted to hop on a plane and actually go find the tree, you could find it with your GPS or whatever it may be. But we are doing that, and we're really excited about this. It's a partnership. Like I said, Zippo did it last year. We're excited that we could work that into a case knife, and you'll see that again start to become more of a staple in our product line. It's introduced in the spring supplement, but things that we expect to kind of go forward from there, and just trying to do our part. I think we all have a part to play. This is a small piece, but I think you're going to see from a brand and just from that aspect, you're going to see things like this come out from Case. We all got to hang around here, so we want to make sure we're doing our part.
It was definitely cool to see some companies getting on board with that. So if you guys are interested in a cool little knife, but also want to plant a tree and be able to go hug your tree when it grows up.
That's right. It may take a while. It's going to be small when it's planted now, Jamie.
Exactly.
They probably can't hug it just yet. But
you probably got about 20 years before you can go hug your tree. But it might be possible with these Woodchuck knives. So cool program from Case Knives there too. I think that's it.
Well, we got more, Jamie. If you got more time, I can go get some more stuff, man.
Oh, I think that's about it for me right now. But I would love to talk after we get done recording this video too. But Mari, thank you so much for joining us on this video call.
Hey, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for what you're doing. We do have a great lineup for 2021. The knife industry is very strong. I think our passions, yours, mine, collectively ours. Unfortunately, I know the world is kind of going through a tough time, but I feel like that there is something in the traditional nature and getting outdoors and these tools, whether it's to give to someone that you love as just an appreciation gift, or whether it's to take it out and do something with it. We're fortunate, we're blessed that our brand has been strong. I know you guys have just done a great job getting the word out on all that, and we're proud to be a part of it, and we appreciate what you're doing, and hopefully you'll have us back sometime.
Awesome. Well, we will definitely have you back for sure.
Okay. All right. We'll count on it.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching this one. Make sure you check out all of our new 2021 products videos. We have a great playlist. I think it's probably 11 videos now. So make sure you check that out, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Hey, you made it to the end screen. If you're not already subscribed to Blade HQ's YouTube channel, hit that button right over there. If you want to check out some of the knives that were featured in this video, head on over to bladehq.com, and down below there's our new 2021 product playlist. We'll see you in the next one.